Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect episode 97. Today's date is May 30th, 2021, and I am DuDs or DuDs versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, DuDs?
Digging. Lots of digging.
More digging.
And I'm still not done digging. And redstone. So I've come up with this big room that has 4 farms in it. And its main purpose is not to farm the items I'm farming. Its main purpose is to farm bone meal. And I get comments saying, you know, you could have done this like this and it would have been, but it's like, yeah, I know. Like a big kelp farm would have produced just massive amounts of bone meal, and it would have been super easier and would have gotten what I needed to be done. But that's not fun. I mean, making a kelp farm room, yeah, it's just a wall with a chest, and you're looking at all this water with kelp in it. And there would be a flying machine that flew by and back and forth and blah. Nobody wants that.
My kelp farm broke all the time from last season. It was a pretty easy
Well, that's just it.
But it just broke all the time.
The flying machines, if you leave the chunk while they're working, they break.
Yeah, well, mine wasn't. Oh, never mind. Yeah, kelp in the water. I didn't have a flying machine.
Oh, I don't know why yours kept breaking.
I think it was the observers from the 1.14 update. They broke.
Yeah. Anyways, so I went with carrot, potato, and all that stuff. So I'm going to have villagers farming that, because I think I can make a really good-looking room that way. And not only am I going to get carrots and potatoes, but also it's going to make bone meal also. So it'll be kind of nice. The only downfall is I kind of wanted to switch. So I could be like, all right, I really don't need carrots anytime soon. Flip the switch. Just automatically go to bone meal. Automatically go to bone meal. Skip the silo. Go to bone meal. And when I'm trying to do the redstone, like 11 o'clock at night, I went, screw this. My overflow is just bone meal. Villagers work kind of quick. It'll get there soon enough.
Yeah, they do. Good for trading.
Yeah, I've done that room. There will be farmer traders in there. I haven't had my villager breeder on yet, so that's probably going to be the longest bit, is waiting for the breeder to make some babies. I'm really not looking forward to moving all those villagers into that room. Like, if I count on top of my head, there's 2, 4, 6, there's 9 villagers that have to go in that one room.
At least it's not too far away. You know, you got your own breeder. It helps.
Yeah, that does help. But the worst part is I don't even have an idea of how I want the room to look. Like, this was just one of those, I need functionality. I built it for functionality, and now it's time to pretty it up. I'm just like, I don't know.
You got all your redstone in, so that's the first step.
Mm-hmm. All the redstone in. I have this wheat farm that's going to be shoving wheat all the way to the other side of the base. And I ended up doing that on a stream, you probably saw. And I had to thread a needle between a bee farm, a slime farm, and a villager trading hall. And I mean, I only had a 1 or 2 block gap I could make it in there. And sure enough, I nailed it. And I was just like, yes, luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was able to catch that. That's pretty cool.
So I'm excited for this room. I don't know if the episode will honestly be out by the time this airs. So if so, sorry. I basically lost a week with my eye. And it's gotten a lot better now where I can sit at the computer and not be agitated or in pain. So
that's good.
Yeah, I can get back to work. I still have trouble seeing. Like, looking at our notes page, the notes page always sits on my right monitor because it's my bigger monitor. And I have trouble reading the notes because it's my right eye that's messed up. It stinks. I hope it's going to get better soon.
And reading in general is just hard.
Reading in general is hard. The last thing that's happened is I have purchased all my parts to upgrade my PC.
Yeah.
Which I'm super happy for. basically my big HDD drive or whatever, the spinny disk one, the old style hard drive that's a terabyte in my computer, it's dying. Like, when it ramps up, it makes grindy noises.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I've been wanting to do some upgrades on this computer anyways, so I just took all my information off that disk, put it on another one. I ordered a new case because I wanted to get a smaller case, save me some desktop area. I've got a new M.2 hard drive coming in.
Nice.
I've already bought the new motherboard. It already showed up. And that's because I want to overclock the CPU I have now. I'm not upgrading the CPU or GPU just because they're such a pain in the butt to find. I know I could probably go ahead and get a CPU, but this CPU I have now is the first generation Ryzen, but it's a 1700X, which was meant to be overclocked. And I have a motherboard right now that can't overclock it. So that's another reason I went and bought a new motherboard, was so I could take advantage of the CPU's overclocking abilities. So I'll be able to hopefully render videos faster, not have to worry about lag issues. I'm not going to be on the old hard drive anymore, so loading times will be faster. Hopefully this makes a little bit of a difference for me. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, it should. It's always fun to upgrade computers. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be making an upgrade video like Jimbo, though. I'm just going to do it.
Fair enough.
Jimbo's like, I see how it is. Mainly because I don't have cameras and stuff. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, got to put yourself out there in that case.
Yeah, nobody knows who DuDs is. We're going to leave it like that.
The mystery.
I say that. Carl knows who I am just because he needed my real name for the Patreon account.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about you? What have you done this week?
I've actually finished detailing my tower. At least one of them so far.
Ooh.
I put an episode out last week about the detailing, and then I changed it this week in this episode because I wanted more blue in there, and you really couldn't see the blue with the detailing I did originally, and now you can see it really well. It's still a little hidden, but there's enough there to actually see it, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Nothing too fancy, but if I go too fancy, I'm just doubling, maybe tripling the work that I have to do already. So I went pretty simple. Put some windows in there. They kind of look like wings. I'm getting a lot of comments. They look like wings, and they do. They definitely look like wings. And it looks okay, the shape, because the shape I want to do kind of goes with like the wing shape. So I'm happy with that. Inside the tower, I started my Cactus Farm. Now, I've built these before, and they're relatively simple to make. And here I've started making my Cactus Farm, and I staggered the cactus. So once one broke, it would immediately land on another. So I wasn't...
Yep.
I probably had like 20% efficiency in this Cactus Farm. I'm like, what was I thinking? What am I doing? I even stopped the time lapse. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. This is a terrible farm. So I went in, I changed it. I made it a lot bigger. I doubled it in size. And efficiency's a lot better. You're going to have cactus getting destroyed regardless. It's a Cactus Farm. It's going to... Sometimes they pop off and land on others. To avoid that, you got to spread them out pretty wide. And I don't need anything ridiculous. So I just... Yeah. If you see the episode, you'll know that's pretty much all I need. If anything, if it gets too... If I need more, I can just put on a couple more layers. It's a big tower. I can add more to it.
Well, and you're auto cooking basically like all your cactus too, aren't you?
Yeah. I put a furnace up to where it drops down, collects, and shoots up into a furnace. The furnace is accessible. I made it accessible to where I can mend my gear from it. But yeah, as soon as it cooks, it goes down into another hopper, drops down into a water stream and off to the shulker box loader, which will go into my storage. Now,
nice.
I don't know if I'm going to get like shulker boxes of this. Actually, the more I play and stuff, I'll probably get shulker boxes, but I could have done without the shulker boxes with the dye. I don't know if I'm going to need shulker boxes of it, but I just put it in there just in case. Yeah, probably not, but it's there. It's already in. So, and it matches everything else, you know. All my storage from my towers is shulker box loaded. So, I still actually have to hook that up to my storage. Hopefully it didn't drop out a shulker box and didn't collect. That would stink. Be a lot of waste of time.
I know the Cactus Farm issue. I've got a tiny Cactus Farm in my base now, but last season I had a relatively large one that was just to run a Furnace XP farm, and they are a pain when you start having to stack them because you can't stand on the cactus to place another block.
Yeah.
And then you got to do the, you did what I did, the glass panes in between all the cactus, and now you're looking, did I put a pane over there? You got to put another block down to see if the pane will connect to make sure it's in the right spot.
I stared at it for like 20 minutes looking for panes that I missed, because I swear I missed some, but they're all popping off. So it's good.
Yeah, they're not hard farms to build. They're just tedious.
Yeah, because how it works is once the cactus grows, if the cactus connects to anything once it grows, you put a glass pane up there, it'll grow, connect to the glass pane, that immediately pops it off, and just got to collect it from there. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Besides Minecraft, I've actually been playing a lot of Minecraft. I have to mine a lot. I got to get coal. I want to stock up on coal for this furnace thing, and diamonds. I'm going to need diamonds. I'm still working out. I've been going to the gym. I haven't been as sore as of late, but last night, funny thing is, I put these notes on before I went to my sister-in-law's house, and I put on here, I'm still working out and I'm not sore anymore. Well, I played badminton over there and dove for the birdie and landed on my shoulder, and now my shoulder is really sore. So there goes that. I just got out of the soreness, and now I don't know if it's like a collarbone thing or just my shoulder. What's funny is I did legs and shoulder workout yesterday, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I can't put my right hand on my left shoulder without the pain on the right side of my collarbone. Hopefully it's not like broken. That wouldn't be good, but I don't think so. By the way, I missed a birdie. Wasn't even close. Yeah, still working on my coordination.
We're too old to do stuff like that. Things break when we fall down now.
Dude, we're falling apart. Our eyes are giving out on us. I'm sore all the time.
I was going to say, between me and you, we have one set of working eyes.
We got one person. We make up one person.
Oh.
But yeah, that's about it for my week.
All right. Well, let's move on to the news, because we have a little bit of news.
Yeah.
The things are still small. It's no longer snapshot time. It's pre-release time, which kind of hints Jimbo might be winning the bet. Unless we have over a month of pre-releases, which I kind of doubt. Usually pre-releases within 3 weeks, the final thing's out. I think it's kind of been their record. There has been one time when there were just an absolute ton of pre-releases, but there was a lot of bugs. And I don't see 117 being a huge bug-filled release. So I think, Jimbo, you might win this bet.
Yeah, I definitely have way better odds than you at this point. I think because they split the update, there's really not much they have to work on to get these bugs out, because they actually took, at least I feel like they took the bigger bugs and they moved it to the next update to try to work on that. So,
well, except for one of the bugs that's now been reintroduced, and that's candles. Candles are back, at least for Java.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Bedrock, I don't think is getting candles right now. They're getting candles at a later update because the parodies is not there yet. So
I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, But yep, candles are back. They have new textures too. So when you light a candle, the texture changes, and man, candles look gorgeous.
Oh, dude, they went up a ton in my book.
Yeah,
I love the the lit textures.
yes, the lidded textures are awesome.
Love them lidded candles. Yeah, it looks so cool.
No, a lit candle is really great. They've got new hues attached to the upper section of the candles, and they're vibrant, and they stand out like crazy now. They don't blend into the background. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
We got candles. We also have changes to the glowing text on signs. If you remember, the glow ink on signs would have the sign glow.
Right.
Now, we had mentioned that, yeah, it's okay, but it wasn't the best way of doing the glow ink to the signs. And Mojang changed it. And now they have this glow outline to the text on signs. And it looks great too. I love it. This is exactly what I thought of when I heard glow ink was going to make signs glow.
Yeah. And then you see examples of it on Twitter, I noticed, and how they got that rainbow neon look.
Yes.
It just looks fantastic. Totally. That was like one of my ideas. I was like, I want to use this in like a build to try to make something neon. And I could see some of these signs replacing like banners at some point, like just for neon signs instead of making banners for signs.
Oh, yeah. Every building I build now that's a shop or something is going to have a neon sign in the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be cool. That being said, when talking about signs, I would love an iron sign. Maybe use an iron bar for the stick recipe, and then you got to use iron ingots for the wood blocks, and you have an iron sign, because an iron sign with some of those glow texts would look awesome.
Yeah, the wood is kind of, doesn't fit with neon, really. You think wood.
No.
And neon, yeah, the iron would be more ideal for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
But those are kind of the big changes. We have small changes like holding down the space bar will increase the speed of the credits after you beat the Ender Dragon, which is kind of nice. I honestly never mind waiting for the credits. And just kind of one of those things like, okay, I beat the dragon. All right, I'm going to go get a drink real quick, come back.
It's like, this is break time, I guess. I just beat the dragon. I'm all sweaty. And
I need my heart rate to get down a little bit.
Yeah, let's take a nap.
Take a nap.
I always
credits are not that long for you to be taking a nap.
I always wanted to read the credits. I never really know what it says, and I always wanted to read it.
There's like a little story in the beginning before it starts getting to everyone who works on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some lore in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's like some lore involved with the game that is involved with the credits, but I've never got to read them. That's something I wanted to do.
On top of this stuff, we've got new advancements, and basically they're all advancements tying to the new stuff. I didn't write a list down because it's just advancements. You're not getting much other than the little ding in the background and the little thing pop up. You got stuff for like looking at the dragon, looking at a parrot through the spyglass. I think you get stuff for using the glow ink correctly.
Goats and boats.
They're just little things. Goats and boats, that seems to be the big thing. If you float a goat in a boat, you get an advancement.
What floats your goat, I think it is. I could see that like a green eggs and ham reference. You know, I will not eat them in a boat. I will not eat them with a goat. Maybe that's just me. I was thinking green eggs and ham.
Well,
maybe I'm just hungry all the time.
I'm used to the saying, whatever floats your boat. That's where I figured that came from.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I'm trying to think because there's one more thing. They were mentioning how basically we wouldn't see anything new from here on in. It's basically all going to be bug fixes, which I kind of question a little bit because we don't have some of the stuff they were talking about, like goat horns still aren't for Java.
Right.
They've been in the Bedrock version. So Bedrock version has goat horns, but like Java doesn't yet.
Yeah, and I don't think they have like a recipe in Bedrock either, so it's still up in the air with what are these things and what do they do.
Right. So I kind of figured since goats are going to be 117, we'd also get goat horn.
Mm-hmm.
Though I did have an idea for the goat horn that could be one reason Mojang would not have it in 117. So if you took a goat horn and you climbed up these new mountains and you blew in the goat horn, maybe it causes an avalanche.
Oh, I like that.
Uh-huh. Could be kind of cool. And that would be a reason not to put it in 117 and save it for 118.
Okay. Yeah,
So.
They don't want like natural disasters from the game, but if a player made it, I think it's okay.
And obviously that's just, I would say it's the powdery snow just falling is what it is. Kind of like when you put a torch down in the desert and it turns out that sand was just magically floating and there's a ravine underneath it and it all falls.
Yeah.
Because all the blocks get updated. You'd have something like that.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can get to the bug fixes. There's 2 listed here. Nothing too crazy.
I actually found 2 bugs that I went, and that's kind of notable. I like those. I'll throw those in there.
So the first one we have is lag spike while loading player head textures and player skins. So that's been fixed. And increasing game state rain levels values makes the game increasingly laggier and distorts UI. Didn't know that.
Those were 2 big ones. So like the rain thing, as YouTubers, you don't see us record in the rain much.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really is rough on the game and the computer when you're trying to record and the game's being laggy because of rain. There's just too much going on. Plus, you're already having a decreased visual level. So then when you compress rain in YouTube, it's just a blurred mess.
What's funny is I was doing my time lapse for my Cactus Farm, and I went AFK, and I noticed it was raining. I was like, oh, it'll stop. I came back 20 minutes later, and it was still raining on the server. And I was like, I can't use this. I had to stop, sleep, get the rain away because the footage wouldn't have been very great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good change.
And then the loading player head textures players, because if anybody plays with the custom head data pack and stuff on, if you put all of those heads in a chest, you'll notice when you start to open the chest later on that you get a little bit of a lag and the heads will just kind of pop into existence inside the chest. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is trying to fix. So these are just little noticeable bug fixes. We usually don't put a lot of bug fixes in because they're very technical. Like there are a ton of technical changes in this pre-release, but they all had to do with advancement triggers and stuff. And they didn't seem like it was to map makers and data packers. Those are probably huge things they can play with and stuff, but for people like us, it's kind of okay, whatever needs to happen to get the game to move forward, we're good with.
Right. And the key word there is the spike. Lag spike. Like, we deal with lag all the time, but those spikes, man, they can really ruin your day.
Yeah. All right, let's move into listener comments. We got 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
One is an email from Link, a fellow Riplet.
Yeah.
And they say, hello, members and listeners of Withering Effect. Listening to episode 93 of the podcast got me thinking. Let's face it, Sky Islands with red dragons would be absolutely epic to have in Minecraft. There's no denying that. But we also know that Minecraft likes to stick to the we could build better, but we want you to build it. So even if Mojang never creates Sky Islands, I think a great addition to the increased build limit would be splitting the sky into 2 zones. So we have the old build limit of 256 as one zone and the new build limit of 320 creating the next zone. We stay with the good old everything built in the sky up to 256 high creates a shadow on the ground below, but then anything between 257 and 320 would only cast a shadow down to 257. I think this would give us great opportunities to create our own Sky Islands without creating or casting the world below into a shadowy gloom. Your happy listener, Link.
I really like that.
I do too. I wonder how you would do it, though. It'd almost be like you'd have to track the player. And if the player was below 256, you would have to turn the upper sky off to get the shadows to go away.
Yeah, would it render up there?
Right.
Like in that chunk, would those chunks be together or different because they're separated?
You'd have to separate those chunks because the way chunks work in Minecraft now, it's like from bedrock all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to horizontally cut chunks, which I don't think is impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, they just never showed us anything like that before. I do want a way to get rid of those shadows, though. I have an idea for a sky build next season.
Mm-hmm.
But I that's one thing that didn't cross my mind was the shadow it's going to cast on the world. It's going to be really annoying unless, below it is like down to bedrock and it's dark and stuff, and I want it that way. But yeah, that's going to be annoying. You're going to see that a lot.
Yeah, unless most of your build is glass too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shadows are kind of rough. And we're seeing weird shadows right now on our builds that aren't being produced by anything.
Yeah.
I've got a random shadow on my mountain that there's nothing above it. It's all sky. I don't know why this shadow is there. Crock's football stadium has a random shadow in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nothing above it. It's all sky up there.
Yeah.
But thank you for your comment, Link. I agree. It would be cool to figure out a way to separate the skies. I don't know how they would do it, though. And would it cause lag, you flying between 256 and 257 and just have this random island pop up in your face and you just go smack right on this island because it just rendered within half a second?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you would do it.
Even if they didn't separate them, maybe somehow prevent that shadow. Maybe the shadow only casts so far, something along it. Or maybe if the sun's behind the build, it casts the shadow. If not, there's no shadow. I don't know.
Or if you cover the entire underside in the light blocks, no more shadow.
I was just thinking that, but I was thinking,
I'm one step ahead of you.
What a pain that would be, but that's
yes,
one way.
Hey, I'm all for the grind fixing issues. It's just you gotta let us do it.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Link.
Yeah, thank you, Link. We got one more comment. I'm gonna let Jimbo read it.
Yes, this one is from RebelJC, friend of the show. What is the most immersive breaking feature in Minecraft, and how would you change it?
Yeah.
You commented about this on the Discord, and I totally agree with one of your comments.
Yeah, so when you go to sprint, you get the jerky screen effect every once in a while.
First thing I think of, yep.
Oh, I hate that so much. It's so annoying.
It slows you down. It messes up everything you're doing. You have to stop to get rid of it to proceed. I did it while flying the other day, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's like upgraded. This bug just upgraded somehow.
And me with a controller, everything I do is just a little bit slower than everybody else. So losing time, and the fact that, again, Minecraft's one of those games that makes me motion sick. I can't have a screen jerking back and forth getting with motion sickness. It's just so bad.
That just shows you it's definitely a game thing and not like you're using a controller. It's still doing it. You think there'd be some way around it, but no. Doesn't matter what you're using, you're going to come across it. Now, some people mention, you double tap W, that would help it. That's what I do most of the time. Sometimes I'll hit Control to try to avoid it, and it still does it, even when I hit Control. And there's no way around it. It's a bug, and how would you fix it? I mean, get rid of it, I guess. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely something in the code. So, like, the way my controller program works, for me to sprint, I push down on the joystick and then push forward. And that's what allows me to sprint. Now, pushing down on my controller, the program that acts like a keyboard for my controller, when I push down, automatically Control W. It does the control a half a second before the W. I shouldn't say it. It's like nanoseconds before the W. So it's acting like a real person pushing the buttons, and then goes into sprint mode. So the fact that you're getting it with double tapping W and I'm getting it with a computer generated program means it's definitely game code, not user interference.
Yeah, I think I get it more when I double tap W than if I were to hit Control.
Maybe. But like I said, mine's always Control W because that's the way the program's set up. So it's doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, like, when I'm in that, that jerky motion, I'm thinking, like, in hindsight, or not hindsight, but in another view, my player is doing, like, a chicken motion. Like, its head is bobbing back and forth. As of right now, I'm doing that, just talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of what you're doing, if you think about it.
Your thought process is way different than mine. Mine's, oh my God, we're all going to die. Stop moving.
Like, when did I turn into a chicken? Better get out of my chicken mode.
Yeah, I think everyone has the jerky W key problem.
Mm-hmm.
But what's another one? Do you have any other off the top of your head you can think of that just completely breaks the immersion of the game for you?
Sometimes I'm using a lot of glass, and sometimes the glass will be off. Like I have layers of it, and I want this smoky effect, the smoky glowing effect. And sometimes, depending on where you're positioned or how far it is from you, you don't get that. You get like cuts in the glass and stuff. You're like, man, that ruined the whole picture.
You and me had the exact same.
Did you have that one? I remember you brought it up before.
Living in my dome under the sea, whenever I want to look up, because the ocean above me is really cool. I love seeing the fish and the dolphin and stuff swim by the dome. It looks great. The problem is the glass texture has this weird cut reflection problem that will just flicker. And I'm like, what? It looks like I have a bad LCD screen for a dome instead of an ocean above me with glass.
Yeah.
And also, Carl, if you're hearing that grinding sound right now, that's that hard drive I was talking about earlier. That's why I went ahead and spent $400 to buy a PC upgrades. I promise they're coming.
I don't hear it.
Okay, good. It's so annoying. Like, it literally... that's what it sounds like right now.
I just moved my mini fridge over by my setup because I'm going with a new theme and it fits my theme. And sometimes it'll
the new theme is Jimbo's too lazy to walk up and get drinks.
Yeah, I got it as close as possible. Sometimes it'll like kick in like to cool things down a little more, and it'll make an annoying humming noise. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's the compressor turning on. I understand that. Yeah, this is a spinny disk hard drive.
Yeah. That shouldn't make any noise.
But here's the thing. It sounds exactly like your compressor on the mini fridge turning on, by the way.
Oh, wow.
It sounds, when you said that was like, that's exactly what this sounds like.
Yeah. My mic doesn't really pick it up, though, so good there.
I think I'm good, too. I'm not seeing any lines, but Carl generally can hear stuff better than we can, so.
That's good.
It'll turn off in like 10 minutes.
Just make it Carl's problem.
Your fault, Carl. Anyways, thank you guys for the comments, both Link and Rebel. That comment was from our Discord. Well, actually, the comment was from our email from Link. And then our Discord was RebelJC. And it's a great place you could talk to everyone who works on the show. Just take Rebel's word for it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm RebelJC, and I'd love for you to join our Discord community. Whether it's taking part in our Mending Minecraft vote, sharing your thoughts and opinions on Minecraft, or just chatting with like-minded listeners, the Withering Effect Discord has something for everyone. Join today by following the link in the show notes.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Rebel. Speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week, we asked you to vote between one of 3 mobs for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the Cleric, the Strider, and the Rabbit.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Rabbit. Congratulations.
Why?
Rabbit. Yeah, this wasn't an easy one.
No.
At the time the votes stopped, it's a little different now. Rabbit had 31 votes, Strider with 23, and the Cleric with 8.
had so many cool stuff for a cleric. You guys just don't even know.
Yeah, I thought the cleric would be difficult too.
My cleric was going to do voodoo and stuff.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah, too late now. You guys don't get that.
Maybe next time. But a few things on the rabbit. A rabbit is an uncommon passive mob and is a source of rabbit's foot, rabbit's hide, and raw rabbit. Man, I'm gonna say rabbit so many times. It's gonna mess me up.
Better than ribbit, right?
Yeah, I spelled a couple ribbit for whatever reason. Rabbits spawn above grass, snow blocks, and sand. Creamy rabbits are common and are found only in deserts, and other rabbits' colors are rare and found in flower forests, taigas, snowy tundras, snowy taigas, and mountain groves, which is in the new update. Wild wolves, foxes, and stray cats track down and kill rabbits. Rabbits can be bred and lured with carrots, golden carrots, or dandelions. Thought that was strange. Rabbits flee within 8 blocks of the player. A killer rabbit or a killer bunny is a hostile variant of the rabbit, but can only be spawned with the /summon command. And name tagging a rabbit toast will change the skin to like a white-gray variant. It's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for the rabbit. The ribbit.
Yeah. So fixing or mending a rabbit was kind of hard because it's a rabbit. There are definitely what I would call continuity errors between real life and Minecraft rabbits, such as I found you don't want to feed carrots to rabbits very often. It gives them an upset stomach. It's not as bad as feeding the cookie to the parrot will kill the parrot. It's not like that. But carrots are not their main source of food. You shouldn't be feeding a bunch of carrots to rabbits.
Now, what about dandelions? Like,
yeah, they eat flowers and grass and stuff.
Okay, because I always thought, that was strange. Yeah. But hey, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of one of those things that have been in the game so long. I don't see it changing. So I tried to, instead of change the rabbits more, I tried to add on to them. So we're getting mobs nowadays that have some cool features. One of the first ones I saw, so like when a dog goes swimming and then gets out of the water, it does that shake animation.
Mm-hmm.
We have pandas that do the roll animation. We have cats that lay on beds and chests and stuff, and they just kind of like sprawl out. We have all these cool things. Rabbits in real life do stuff like that. They perform a leap called the binky, which is just hilarious. But when rabbits are super happy, they jump in the air and twist their bodies and kick.
Ooh.
And that's called a binky.
I saw binky on there. I was like, he's got to explain what this binky is, because I have never heard of that within a rabbit or a leap. But yeah.
So I thought it would be cool if after feeding a rabbit, maybe you have like a 25% chance of that rabbit jumping in the air and performing a binky.
Yeah.
Just a kind of way to give them a little bit more animation and stuff. So you're not really changing the rabbit much, but it gives them some individuality compared to some of the other mobs. Also, rabbits are very social creatures. You won't find one by itself for the most part, but rabbits in Minecraft seem to be very antisocial. I don't see a lot of them near each other. Now, desert rabbits, it's a little different because they're very common in the desert. So you'll find a bunch of them, and it could be that they're just next to each other. But when I'm walking through the woods and I find a rabbit, it's very rare I find 2 or 3 rabbits together. It's usually just one. And I don't know if maybe I'm blind or not, but I would like to see rabbits be more social, and you'd see them in packs and such.
Yeah.
Finally, fall damage. They need some reduced fall damage because these suckers jump off cliffs. We've got goats now that can jump super high and land without taking a lot of fall damage. I think rabbits need a little bit of a buff there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need incredible buff, just enough where moving them around on a lead doesn't kill them, because they'll jump off some random spots.
And sometimes they're not very high, and they're still dying off these little ledges, and you're like, okay, I don't know about the hearts, how many hearts the rabbit had. Maybe that's something I should have looked at, but Yeah, not too many. They can't take too many falls, or else they're gone.
Yeah, those are my fixes for rabbits. It wasn't a ton because I don't think there's a lot wrong with rabbits now. I think their textures are really good. I really like how they have several different colors. I just wanted a little bit of more personality because we're seem to be getting a lot of that from new mobs, and I felt addressing an older mob with some new personality might be fun.
Yeah, rabbit was pretty difficult.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so we can move on then.
Yeah. So our main topic this week comes from a tweet from kingbdogz, friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned they were putting out a tweet looking for what they called missing variants. And it wasn't intended to be adding new blocks to the game. It was adding variants of blocks that they felt were missing from Minecraft. So I thought me and Jimbo should come up with maybe 5 or so variants we feel should be addressed before anything else. The big elephant in the room that we're just going to go ahead and throw out there is concrete stairs and slabs.
Yeah.
It's kind of the obvious one. So that's not on either one of our lists. But understand, yes, we agree, concrete stairs and slabs, but we're going to go and we're going to do some other ones.
Yeah, you hear about the concrete stairs and slabs a lot. A lot of people would love to have that in the game.
Yeah. It's a very obvious missing block. So,
right.
But I'll go first because I have one more than you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with walls. The ites don't have polished walls. So diorite, andesite, granite, they don't have polished wall versions. All of their wall versions are just the normal block version.
Yep.
Which aren't bad looking textures, but it's weird that the polished version, even though the polished version has stairs and slabs, the polished version doesn't have walls.
Mm-hmm. I found that out the hard way because I crafted a bunch of polished diorite. I wanted diorite walls around the outside, and I use diorite, but the smooth variant is so much better than the actual diorite block, and I wanted to do the smooth walls. Found out there was none, so
yeah,
I made all these blocks that are just now sitting in a chest because I can't craft them into anything unless I decide on using the smooth diorite.
Yeah, there's also no concrete walls. There's no quartz walls, and not all the prismarine variants have walls. Dark prismarine wall would be a cool wall.
Yeah, I didn't realize they don't have walls. It's just the regular prismarine that's got walls then.
Just the regular prismarine.
Not even the brick.
Not even the brick.
Huh.
So walls, more walls.
Yes. And one of mine, bookshelves.
Okay.
We have one type of bookshelf. At least in, the vanilla version, you can find ways to get different bookshelf looks. But yeah, in builds, if you want to make like a giant bookshelf, they're just so repetitive. I feel like the book should be mixed up a little bit. Kind of like how when you play Stone now, it kind of, mixes up as you place it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like bookshelf should have something along that lines. If not, change the wood type around it. We have just the regular oak wood bookshelves, maybe dark oak on the outside. Something to switch it up a little bit because they're all the same.
As of right now, the only trick I have for that is to put a backwards loom in with the bookshelves so it looks like an empty shelf.
That looks good. Mm-hmm.
Number 2, chests of different wood types. There will be some people who argue with me that we don't need that because then you couldn't use different woods to craft chests. Like you can't use 3 oak and 5 dark oak to make a chest.
Yeah, you can't mix and match.
You wouldn't be able to mix and match. And I'm going to say, go chop down another tree, you lazy bum. I think different colored chests would bring so much to the game in terms of decoration for interiors and stuff. We've got a little bit, when they did the barrels, that was huge. I love the barrel texture. So I'd like to see more stuff like that, and maybe different wood chests would create different kinds of textures. That gets me excited. So that's something I would like to see in the game.
I could see it being the strip variant for the chest. I like the strip log look. Maybe the chest would have the stripped look instead of like the, I don't know, that there really isn't, they're all that one color. Even the oak doesn't really match the look of the chest, but yeah, I could see it being the strip log look for the chest.
Mm-hmm.
That would look cool.
Yeah.
My next one is endstone and endstone bricks. Now, all you have in the end is the endstone and the endstone bricks. You don't have the stairs, slabs, walls with the endstone bricks.
Yeah.
I would love something like that. And endstone in general is, all you make is the bricks out of it. There's nothing else. And it's just, I would like to do more with it because there's a lot of it. And I remember my very first build I made was with endstone bricks. I made a mine shaft. First thing I did, made a mine shaft. I was like, endstone bricks would look great for the floor. Until I realized there's no stairs. And I'm like, what? It's a brick. Yep. Why aren't there stairs? And this goes along with your wall thing, I guess. But yeah, we don't have stairs for it. And the endstone, I would like to see like a smooth variant. Even stairs and slabs with just the regular endstone, not just the bricks. But yeah, there's very little you can do with just 2 blocks to make from this material.
You are 100% right. I would love to use endstone. There's not enough variants to even allow me to consider endstone a block to be used. But yet we have purpur with all the variants in the world. And no, I'm not going to use it. It's an ugly texture. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I'd like them to go back and look at the purpur texture to see if there's any fix. I mean, their biggest fix for, to me, the purpur texture was changing the inrod base from purple to gray, because that alone made inrods useful again.
Yeah, not a fan of purpur myself.
No. Number 3, dirt and coarse dirt slabs. I'm not going to go into the grass slabs or grass stairs or dirt stairs. I don't think you should have dirt stairs or grass stairs, but dirt and coarse dirt slabs to me make a bit more sense. And the fact that it would look like the terrain got roughed up a little bit. And so I could see that being brought into the game. It's not really high up on my list, but yeah, I could see using those as slabs. But I want to put out there, I don't agree with people who want sand, slabs, and stairs. It's sand. You really can't mold sand into quality stairs and slabs. I get sand's a block, and you can't mold sand into a good block either, but you got to get what I'm saying. Anything that's affected by gravity can't be worked into these shapes and stuff. So
goes for gravel, concrete, powder concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your next one?
My number 3, it kind of touched up on it with the endstone, is more smooth variants. We're seeing it with basalt now, and it takes the block from like a 4 to a 9, and it looks great. And I loved it when they did it with the sandstone. You have the smooth stone, regular stone. I mentioned be awesome to have an endstone smooth variant, but yeah, more smooth variants would make, I don't know, I think the block looks great.
Yeah,
when they're smooth.
100% agree. I love the way they're going with that stuff. We've had some polished variants, but a smooth variant seems to be the next big thing coming around, and I'm really happy with those.
Yeah, and you think of diorite, calcite would probably be the smooth variant of diorite if it ever got smelted down. But like that goes for like andesite and granite too. What would the smooth variant look like? I bet it would be more useful.
I don't know. I'm one of those people that really like the natural granite and andesite textures more than I like the polished versions.
Okay.
But maybe I'm weird.
Yeah, some of the polished, at least if you don't have the data pack, but they're kind of blocked off.
Yeah.
you see the lines in the outsides. So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
All right, my number 4. I actually mentioned a bit of this earlier. Iron, gold, and copper signs. I think that makes a complete ton of sense, using the iron bar as the stick and the ingots for the quote-unquote planks to craft the signs. Granted, I don't know what you would do for gold and copper to do the stick portion, but I think metal signs really makes sense.
Yeah, now that we can make it neon.
Exactly. And I didn't want to include emerald and diamond signs because to me that makes absolutely zero sense. But metal signs are real things. I've seen copper signs and I've seen iron signs. I've never seen a gold sign, but I've seen metal signs that were painted gold. So yeah, we're going with it, but that would be a cool variant.
Even if they gave us just iron, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
They didn't give us copper and gold.
Yeah, if they didn't give us copper and gold, but they just gave us iron, 100% okay with that. I would not argue with that because copper and gold are a little bit into the gray area.
Expensive.
Iron makes a lot of sense. It's kind of the aluminum of Minecraft.
Right. My number 4, this is my last one. Actually, I've come up with 4 of them. I'd like to see more leaves.
Yes.
Even if they didn't give us more leaves, can we make the leaves a little more leafy, more fluffy?
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like it's too, this is weird, blocky.
How dare you call Minecraft blocks blocky?
It sounds really weird. But when I watch your videos and when you use leaves, you have a data pack that has like a little bit of texture on the leaf.
Yes.
That makes them a little more fluffy. And I feel like that's the way they need to be. And why haven't I put that data pack on yet? That's what I try to, like, I facepalm every time I see it. Like, why don't I have that yet? I still haven't
Jimbo.
put that in my thing. I haven't used leaves yet, but if I do, I'm definitely grabbing that data pack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like we could use more leaves or different looking leaves. I love to use them.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used them this season, but yeah, it'd be nice to get different ones.
I use leaves like crazy. And
you do.
the quote unquote fluffy leaf texture is one of the reasons I still use leaves like crazy, because it makes complete sense that a leaf block isn't perfectly squared.
Right.
And that's just a texture pack. That's a vanilla tweak texture pack. So if anyone's who's wanting to go out there and look for it. And I agree with you. We have dark oak and oak leaves. They're the exact same leaf.
Same one. And
same
then
leaf.
We got azalea. Same leaf.
And we got, unless you get the flowering azalea, that's the only time the leaf changes.
Right.
So if you look at jungle and oak, they're relatively close also. The difference being jungle's leaf is a little bit fatter, and they've got what I call little fruit bulbs in them. But they're still, I can blend jungle leaf with oak leaf. Matter of fact, I did do that. If you look inside my dome, there's jungle leaf all up in the oak leaf, and you barely can recognize that I changed the leaf texture. They're so close together like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was building my trees last season, and I built it with just the spruce, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't look great. So I mixed in some birch with the spruce, and it kind of mixed it up a little bit. So
yes,
just to change it because it was just too, I don't know, bland.
I'm not asking for like wild and crazy purple leaves or anything like that.
Right.
Just a little bit more texture variation, especially when it comes to oak and dark oak.
Same.
Yeah, they're the same. Finally, my number 5, dogs.
Yep.
This is kind of a big one. We have all these different cat variants, one dog variant.
Even got like 6 or 7 bunnies running around.
Right?
You never see.
Where's the love for the puppies?
Mm-hmm.
That one's kind of an obvious one too that's been thrown out a lot. But I just kind of wanted to throw it in there for fun because it does seem like dogs have got the short end of the stick when it comes to textures lately.
Yeah. Maybe more animation with the dogs.
Maybe when the dog goes to lay down, they spin in a circle like they do in real life.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, cats have like their own laying down animation. Cats are getting a lot of love, and not the dogs.
Not the dogs.
They have different spawning mechanics. You can farm them. Poor dogs.
Mojang doesn't like dogs. Confirmed.
Yep,
nah, I'm
confirmed.
just picking. I'm just picking. I would like to see dogs get a little bit of love in an upcoming update, and I think they will. I don't think Mojang's forgot about them. I think they're trying to figure out a way to work it in where it makes sense with an update, and not just some random. Like goats make sense with mountains because you have mountain goats and everything like that. So I think they're just kind of waiting for the right update, but I think dogs will be getting an update at some point.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's only a matter of time.
Yep. But I think that's going to do it for today's show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting our show. Our milk level patrons are aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, DeadWalker, FragileRock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, and YDYT. If you would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.